Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for the rest of 2024. We're just going to see what comes up. You have this Scorpio card. It says Underworld on it. It says, awaken your inner witch to maximize your potential and connect to the universal energies. You have this Bear Tree card. It says, don't waste your energy or effort on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. So I would be careful of wasting your time. You know what's really interesting is a lot of people have had a lot of this energy of needing to, cut anything out that isn't really producing a result or is wasting your time. So if you feel like you're wasting your time on something, I would be very careful of that. It kind of feels like a project or, like a business or an idea that you could be working on. And again, if it's not producing a result, I don't necessarily think that it's going to get any better. Kind of like the funny thing also that's popping into my head here, Aquarius, is if you're working on a project with other people, it's like they could try to convince you to stay. But I also think that, I have the thing that I look at, I'll just say this, is that if you're working on a project and if the people that you're working with are willing to like adapt and change and evolve, and if they're like willing to do the things necessary to make something work, then I think great, keep going. But I just kind of get the feeling that some of you could be working on something that's required a lot of strength, right? You've been very patient, and it's just, the people aren't willing to change. So, if you happen to be in a situation like that, even if they beg you to stay, I still don't think things are going to change. So, I think that it's time to make, you need to decide to make a change, right? And I think you will at the end of the year here. You have this strength card. So I think that a lot of you have developed a lot of internal strength that people are starting to see. We also have the Ace of Wands here. So the Ace of Wands is a passionate new beginning. Ace of Wands can represent out with the old, in with the new. I've seen a lot of aces in this set of readings as well, which is very interesting as well, because at the beginning of the year, we had a lot of aces in the 2024 readings. So it's kind of like we started and ended with a lot of like new beginning stuff. Maybe you have started a lot of things this year, and now it's like the chickens are coming home to roost. I feel like now is when the rubber meets the road. Now is when you are going to see the results from the things that you have started this year, 2024. It could even be, at the end of 2023, maybe you started some things as well. But I feel the Ace of Wands is like when you decide, out with the old, in with the new. The Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings and kind of like working on things that you're more passionate about. The whole entire reading is saying to me, right here with the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles, that if you're working on things that you're passionate about, obviously you're going to get much better results. So I would pay attention and make sure you're working on things that are actually working. You have the Death card. The Death card is some sort of big change. You have the Scorpio card, right? Yeah. So you have the Scorpio card. You have Scorpio here as well. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. I do see love here, and you have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups could be a knight in shining armor. You have water, earth, and it could even be a fire sign as well. So, I don't know. Take it how it resonates. Could be any sign. But if you want love, I feel like there could be a new connection coming in for you. And I am getting love on this Death card. So I don't know why. I don't look at the Death card as a love card, but it's popping into my head as love, maybe because you're getting into a connection that is going to cause a great change or some sort of shakeup in your life. But this would probably be a positive shakeup, obviously. I feel like you're, if you do want love, you could be a little bit nervous. These two people are terrified of change. Only this child right here is excited for the change that's about to happen. The child is holding up some flowers to the Death Rider. So, again, this might mean that you are attracting something where you have to approach it from a more childlike perspective, in the sense that you shouldn't take it too seriously. And that doesn't mean that it's not going to be serious. It just means that a more playful approach could be more beneficial. Also, going at something and just saying to yourself, I'll see how it goes, right? I'm not going to overinvest in this. I'm just going to take my time and, see how things go. I think that would be a good approach. Although the Death card is a very positive change. Right here, we have the two pillars from the moon. And the sun is coming up between those two pillars, which kind of says the sun is coming up. So again, we'll see where it goes, but definitely looks good. You have the Four of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles as your center cards. Both are very good for love. With the Strength card, you have the Knight of Swords. No rushing at this time. We're still in Mercury retrograde at the time of me recording this video. So if you're watching it after, obviously it doesn't matter. But during the retrograde, I always tell people, double check everything, take your time, don't rush. I don't really follow the retrograde rules. The only thing that I do is I double check everything I do, and I take my time just a little bit more. Like instead of making a big purchase, like if I'm gonna make a big purchase, I really research it. I really make sure that I'm not that I'm getting the right thing, right? So I don't think we have to be like allow astrology to control our lives or tarot to control our lives. I would just take your time. For the first 8 years of this channel, I bought a computer under Mercury retrograde, and that computer recorded all the videos that I did for this channel. Never had any issues. So again, I think as long as you take your time, as long as you really make sure to do your research, you'll be fine. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Four of Wands. Are you kidding? Yeah, this is like a very passionate new beginning that's coming in for you here. It is kind of funny because I do feel like you could be a little bit nervous on this Death card for whatever reason. Like, maybe you are terrified of love, or, I'm not saying you're terrified, but, maybe you're nervous at how quickly you become attracted to a person. So that could be another thing as well. With the Death card, you have the Hermit. So this person doesn't know you exist, is what I would say with the Hermit card. Or, again, maybe you don't even know who this person is yet. This could be a person you're about to meet, and so you might not know they exist either. But, I kind of feel like this is how you are showing up in the reading, being in the Hermit energy. So if you do have your eye on a person, then obviously you're going to have to reveal yourself at some point. The Hermit also says that you've been through like a dark night of the soul. And, the Four of Wands doesn't have to be love. The Four of Wands can be freedom. And this could say that you are setting yourself free from a period of going through darkness. And now you're kind of revealing yourself to the world. So that would make sense as well. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Remember card and this Create card. We are in a very creative time. I'm a big fan of creative energy right now. Probably through like 2027, and it's not like it stops after that either. But between now and like 2027, we just have really good creative energy. And so if you have any creative ideas, I would tap into those ideas and put them out into the world. The Remember card is kind of like reminding me of the child that's on the Death card. Again, the child on the Death card is about embracing your inner child for a change. And I feel like maybe you need to remember like the original reasons why you are doing something. Sometimes when we put things into perspective, especially like let's say you're launching a business, I think people get lost in business. I've seen it a million times where, people work on businesses and they kind of like lose their passion, or they start making sacrifices because they've forgotten the reason that they started the business in the first place. And so we go up from here to the Eight of Pentacles. And I think sometimes when you feel a lack of motivation or heart for the thing that you're working on, and again, it doesn't have to be business. It could be your relationship. It could be your health or anything else. I feel that, that Remember card and also this Death card is kind of saying, remember why you started doing something in the first place. Like putting it in that perspective could help motivate you. You have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles here. So the Knight of Cups can clearly be a knight in shining armor that's coming in for you. The Queen of Pentacles, she is focusing on that pentacle. So she is focused on her resources, and she's not really looking up at that Knight of Cups that is coming towards her. So some of you might be very focused on work and you're not really focused on love. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that, of course, but if you do want love, I think you need to make it a little bit of a priority here, or you need to see that there is something that's available to you. So I would just open up. You have the Four of Wands. Again, this could be a person you marry. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles right next to it is, building and leaving a legacy. So you absolutely could be attracting a person where, it's like happy home, happy family, plus money, plus, anything else that you could possibly imagine. So you could be attracting a really solid person here. The Four of Wands is also a card of freedom. And like I said, I think you're trying to set yourself free in work with that Eight of Pentacles, and that's what I would do there, is I would make sure that you're doing things that keep you free. Like me, for example, I don't take any sponsors on any of my content, right? And for the most part, there's like one tarot company that I've ever worked with, and that's it. And I don't even work with them anymore. And so mostly because they didn't pay me, right? But what I would say here is I don't take sponsors because I don't want to be a slave to someone else, right? And And, that's one thing that keeps me motivated, is the fact that I don't have to say something that I don't agree with, or I don't have to potentially promote something that I'll hate in the future. And I kind of get that. The reason I'm saying this is because of this Eight of Pentacles. I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is saying that you need to get back to the reasons why you did something. And it could be business, because I feel money here, but it doesn't have to be. It's like, I think the same thing with health. It's like, like I want to eat pizza every single day, right? But also I have a very sensitive immune system, and if I eat things that I'm not supposed to, I break out, right? Simple as that. So I need to remember, like, you don't do this because I was once a much fatter fat ass, right? And I don't want to be a fat ass anymore, so I have to stop. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about taking the lead and getting out into the world. He's standing on top of this castle, and the castle has become his comfort zone, and he needs to leave a comfort zone and realize that things can be different. He's holding the whole world in his hands here, and the world kind of says he needs to get out into the world. I feel like I say this to you all the time. It's like he's looking out here to the world out here, but he's not looking at the world. He's not looking at all the potential that exists, and I feel you need to open up to potential. With the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands competition. Again, if you have your eye on a person, you might be wondering if they're single, or you might be wondering, maybe there is a lot of competition for a person you're interested in. And so, I really don't have anything to say here. I just feel like there's a lot of competition, and I feel like it's something that you're going to have to get over if you want to be with a person, if you have your eye on a person. With the Four of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles, like, do I, don't I? I kind of feel that Eight of Pentacles is saying it would be a good time for you to really think about your life and really think about what you want and where you see yourself, and, like, what ingredients go into that to make that happen, right? So this is like, do I or don't I get married with the Four of Wands? Or do I or don't I want a family? Or do I or don't I want to build or leave a legacy? I think a much better thing for you to do would just, like, write down just write and don't think, right? Just write about, like, 20 years from now, what would make you feel like you actually were successful in life, right? And then look at that, break it down into a list of ingredients, like, what do I need to make this happen? And I think that would be a good exercise for you, because I think it would really put things into perspective. It's like, maybe you think, I don't want to get married, but maybe when you write your journal, or when you write something down, you're like, oh, I'm, in the future I'm playing with my kids and blah, 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 all this other stuff. Well, obviously you would have to be in a relationship to make that happen. Well, not true. I mean, there are other ways to do it, but for the most part, right, you would have to. So maybe one of the ingredients would be like, oh, I need a relationship. So I think kind of like gaining that perspective of the work that needs to be done would be very powerful. With the Two of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, you cannot know the answers. I feel like I've said that to you before as well. Queen of Wands doesn't know a damn thing. She just has to go on a journey and learn as she goes. She is my card of learning as you go. So clearly, you are about to accept something into your life, and all that you have is your enthusiasm or joy or excitement. She has this sunflower right here, and that sunflower is guiding her on her journey. The sunflower points towards the sun, so she has to trust the only thing that is telling her that she's moving in the right direction is happiness. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this unseen forces watch over you. You are protected, basically. You have this key. It says locked doors can now be open. Yes. So, what has been blocked can now be open for you here. I think that, really things seem to be opening up. You have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is a card of setting yourself free and kind of like going through a locked door that is now open. You have the Eight of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. Eight of Pentacles is work. I think you need to look at how much work you have done as well. Sometimes I feel, this isn't an accurate tarot meaning of the Eight of Pentacles necessarily, but sometimes I think he needs to look up and like put it into perspective. He needs to see how much work he has done, because he wants to do more. Ten of Pentacles in your reading, you want more out of life, but you might be selling yourself short. You might be saying to yourself like, oh, I haven't done enough to earn this or do this. But if he looks at all the work he has done, it immediately makes something that he's about to do much, much easier. So I think you need to realize that you have like a lot more skills than are necessary to accomplish this right here, your Ten of Pentacles, and that might get you started on your Ten of Pentacles much sooner. So the Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in your life. The Ten of Pentacles forms the tree of life. It's funny that you start with the bear tree right? That first card says, don't waste your energy or efforts on something that is clearly not bearing fruit. And the Ten of Pentacles is a lot of fruit. So I think that for a lot of you, this could be something very fulfilling that you're creating in your life. It could include love, doesn't have to. It could be home, family. It could be you just starting a business that supports you, or you improving your health, whatever you see as building and leaving a legacy. And, I feel a lot of you are kind of being encouraged to work towards this. One thing I will say is all the fixed signs get the Ten of Pentacles. Uranus and Taurus. Uranus and Taurus really wants us to be free. And so if we build and leave a legacy, usually we can support ourselves a lot better and we are more free. So I think that's why you fixed signs always get this freedom stuff. You have the Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on from your current situation. This woman and the child in the boat, they're moving on to calmer shores, or at least they hope they are moving towards calmer shores. They don't really know yet. They're still sitting in choppy waters, but they only have the clothing on their back. They are completely moving on from the past. So again, I think a lot of you could be leaving some sort of comfort zone with the Two of Wands, or you could be moving on from something. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Judgment card. Judgment is about waking up to new ways of doing things, answering the call, moving towards your purpose. And so a lot of you could be finally understanding what your purpose is. I feel like this Judgment card is actually very simple in your reading. I feel it's just saying you're moving towards your purpose. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups. Are you kidding? There you go. If you're attracting love into your life, this could obviously be a very solid connection. The Ace of Cups would be your emotions overflowing, being very happy, good things coming in. So there you go. With the Six of Swords, you have the Chariot. Yeah, charging towards success. Again, if you are moving on from something with the Six of Swords, I think you are definitely, this to me would be major confirmation for what you're doing. So I feel like there's a lot of success, and I also feel like you're heading straight towards a victory as well. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Boundaries card. It says Out of Bounds Moon. You have this Healing Moon card. It says Seek Healing. Amazing time for healing, especially at the end of the year here. So any healing that you could do would be great. If you are getting into a new connection, again, setting healthy boundaries is obviously going to be very important. You have the Four of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. Coming up in the area of the good stuff, this would tell me that you are creating more financial security, and the whole entire reading looks amazing for your finances. So whatever you're doing, I would just, keep doing it. If you're thinking about doing something, I would just do it, because again, I think that you are kind of like doing the things necessary to create a lot of success and stability in your life. You have the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords only has clouds halfway up her body. She finally sees things clearly for the future, and I feel that for a lot of you, the Queen of Swords could be you, Aquarius, and I feel like you see the future more clearly as we move throughout the month of August. Again, if you're watching this after the month of August, because this is for the end of the year, then again, you could be gaining clarity right now whenever you're watching it. And so I think you are finally more open to changes in the future. She's like cautiously optimistic. She has her hand out, but her sword up. She's like willing to receive, but she's also kind of defending herself. And didn't you have a card of boundaries or something like that? I think this said boundaries or something. I don't know. Am I making that up? Probably. But I think it would be a great time to set healthy boundaries. You have the Three of Pentacles. Just getting like two heads are better than one, right? So if you're working on anything, allowing people to help you, or getting guidance, or even studying or learning from other people, obviously could lead to a lot more success. The Three of Pentacles is about quality work as well. So if you are worried that you are not going to do a good job on something, I feel like the Three of Pentacles is saying, don't worry, you are going to do a good job on whatever you're growing. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles, growth. This is something that will grow over time. I always say that the Ten of Pentacles doesn't happen overnight. The Ten of Pentacles is something that you will work on forever. So if you're growing a business, or if you're growing your health, the Knight of Pentacles would just say that slowly but surely you are making progress, and obviously that's a good thing. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. Again, resting, relaxing, recovering, healing, all of those things would be a good idea. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Cups. At the beginning of the reading, you were walking away from something that isn't working. I kind of feel like there could be another opportunity. Like, let's say you're working on a project and it's just not working, and you decide to walk away. The Three of Pentacles with the Eight of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles with the Eight of Cups, Too many pentacle cards here, Aquarius. This could say that, yes, you are walking away, but you are still getting something out of the situation. Like, you learned what to look out for. You learned new skills of working together with other people. And I do feel there could be like a new opportunity for you to work on something else with like a new group of people. So it's like maybe this is, an old situation is kind of leading to a new situation, which also would be good. Let's see. You have this organization card. Yeah, I think we're in a time where we have to stay organized and neat and tidy. So anything you could do to organize what you're working on would be a good idea. You have this quarrel card, 5 of Wands. Again, if you're working with a group of people where you just don't see eye to eye, it could be a good time to walk away from whatever that is. Next, you have the speculation card, dreaming. I think that you are dreaming of a connection with a person. It could be a specific person. It doesn't have to be, but, again, I think it's time to bring this down to earth. So, like I said, at a certain point, you're going to have to find out whether it's going to work or not. So, again, I think this is something that you are going to make solid. You have this revenge card. I would be careful of past people. Everybody gets this stuff in the reading, so clearly there's something going on with like past people. So I would be careful of, like, if you're getting into something new, I would be careful of your exes. I would be careful of their exes, or just random, third parties or whatever. And yeah, that's what I'll say there. And finally, you have this authority card. You are becoming an authority figure. I mean, you literally have Pluto at the end of the year, November, is moving into your sign. And I think it's all about Aquarius taking the lead and being an authority in the world. So, yeah, I think that this is just what you're doing, plain and simple. But this looks really, really good, Aquarius. I love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your year.